Hello everyone, just thought I'll make a video to show you my experience of traveling during this pandemic. Hopefully this will provide some infos to whoever who wants to travel during this pandemic, and especially for people who wants to return home to Malaysia. So my journey is a little different from others, as in I actually drove quite a long way to take my flight. So I rented a car, drove from Ann Arbor to Chicago O'Hare Airport. Took me around 4.5 hours. So obviously that was the first experience driving in this pandemic, driving long distance. When I arrived close to where I was going to return my car, I went to the petrol station to fill up the gas, and also I wanted to use the toilet, but they were closed, completely closed. As per CDC's recommendation, it says on the notice. So whoever wants to travel, maybe some stations won't have toilets for you. So then I quickly fill up the gas and returned my car. The car return was very interesting as well, because no one was there to take our keys, no one was there to complete our rental, and the instruction was basically leave your car uh, leave your car there anywhere in the parking lot, and leave the keys inside the car. That was it. So in Chicago Airport, we normally take a shuttle bus from where we rent the car to the terminal, and I took a shuttle bus. I got on a shuttle bus which was waiting there for someone to pick up, and I was the one, and I was the only one. And I took the shuttle bus to the main terminal, the international terminal, and the terminal was very, very quiet. It was about 6 p.m. at that time, and none of the check-in counters were opened. It was extremely quiet, and we can also see that on the main road of the arrival and departures of the airport, which was normally packed with traffic and super busy, super noisy, it was very quiet. And entering the security was a weird experience as well, because I felt like I was walking into somewhere I shouldn't, because there was no one walking with me. So I went through security alone and waited at the departure hall, and departure hall was very quiet as well. Everything was arranged so that people can still keep social distance. From what I could remember, the only people inside the departure hall was waiting for the same flight as I do. Oh yes, by the way, let me show you what I brought to sanitize myself throughout the journey. So on the left of the bag, I have some wipes that I found, which are travel packs. So there are 10 pieces in a pouch, super convenient. And I also have alcohol spray right there. On the other side, I have a whole bottle of hand sanitizer. Yes, I was prepared, and I was using hand sanitizers very frequently because you never know what you touched. It's also worth mentioning that you can bring as many bottles of sanitizing equipments you want, whether it's hand sanitizers or alcohol spray. I brought around 5 bottles of those, as long as the bottles are small enough, as long as it's 100 ml or below. The bottle of hand sanitizer one of those that I had was 250 ml, but I had it about half filled, So they let me bring it in. So I got on the first flight. There were very little people, um, but for some reason we were all grouped to the back of the airplane. The middle section of the plane was completely empty, and I learned that it is actually for the weight distribution of the airplane for takeoff. I obviously don't know the technicalities of that, or the reason why that is, but I've learned that it is for that reason that we were all distributed to the back of the plane. And on the airplane, I found the Pavarotti documentary, which I was excited about because I wanted to see that for a long time, but I hadn't had the chance. So that was a plus. There was also questions about the dining experience on the plane. We were served food. Yeah, they still serve food, and we actually just took our masks off and eat it quickly. I guess there's really no other way to do it. But I guess when you're on a plane and if it feels like you have enough social distancing with people, it should be okay for you to, take your masks off briefly to eat. Same thing goes with drinking. Obviously, you need to hydrate yourself frequently, and the only way to do it is take off your mask and drink. So after that flight, I arrived in Doha airport. Um, as expected, it was very empty, and I walked to the middle section, middle sort of concourse area, which was normally very busy. The water fountains were also closed off. The only way to get water for drinking was to get them from the shops. So then I got onto the next airplane from Doha to Kuala Lumpur. This time, visually, there were more passengers. You could see from just how people are waiting in the terminal, at the gate, at the boarding gate. Perhaps this is the reason why in this flight everyone was spread throughout the throughout the seats. From what I could tell on how they arranged the seating, it was a pretty good system, I find. So I was on an Airbus where you have three sections of three seats, and for every three seats, they assign one passenger on it, unless you are traveling together, unless you're a family, or they'll put you together, or you take up two of the three seats. But otherwise, you'll be arranged on, you take up three seats basically. Obviously, I guess it depends on the number of people traveling with you. For my case, it was pretty good distancing because we didn't have many passengers on the flights. And so finally, it was time to arrive at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Arrive home. So before we arrive at KL, we fill out this form, which is, I think it's very good. I think that because they want to be able to contact trace when if they find any positive cases. So then we arrived at Kuala Lumpur, which then was a very interesting check-out procedure. The whole arrival procedure was very different from what we experienced before, obviously. Uh, First, we were brought to these testing stations and stuff, and they fill out our details, and then after that, everyone got a everyone got a swab test. So the test, they did two tests. One is on the nose, one is on the throat. The nose one was okay. It wasn't painful, but it was maybe uncomfortable. It actually went quite deep inside, and maybe that's why it really feel very weird. But the throat one was okay. The throat one was just at the side here, at the side towards the back. And then we waited for people to finish so that we have a whole group of enough people to fit into a bus. For a bus, they actually assign 20 people. So instead of, I think a bus normally can fit 44 people or something like that. So then the 20 of us go together and took our luggages and put our luggages beside the bus because the firefighter was disinfecting our luggages, including the backpack, including the hand carry stuff. And then we were given this very nice pack of kind of like welcome back sort of gift. Have water, have some biscuits, some drinks, which is very nice. And then our whole bus was escorted by police. It was a very interesting experience because seeing the police like escort us, it was like we are VIPs or stuff. I mean, you can really see it two ways. You can really see like you are a VIP, or you can see it like you are a prisoner being brought on a bus penjara. And then I arrived at the hotel. The hotel that I'm in is Marriott Hotel in Putrajaya. In fact, I'm actually sitting at here right now because of quarantine, nothing to do, so then do this video lah. Check into the hotel was very smooth. Took our luggages, go in. There was different counters, and this guy just took my passport and boarding pass and stuff and took a picture, and then gave me the key, and then we went up to our rooms. And you can see that the room is very luxury. At the side we have this lounge chair which I'm sitting on right now. It's a very nice place. I guess it's also very thoughtful of them because a more spacious place would help for us to stay sane throughout these 14 days, I guess. The rule says that we cannot go out to even the corridor. All the meals will be delivered to us, and I've got 2 meals already. They just put it on a chair in front of the door and ring my doorbell. And for our hotel, it is actually okay for people to deliver things to you, but only at a very limited time. I think it's Wednesdays and Sundays, only between I think 11 to 3, around 3-4 hours window. That was the only time they can bring stuff to you, and the stuff that you can bring is also very limited. You can only bring dry foods or whole fruits, but no mee goreng, no nasi lemak from home or things like that. So yeah, so then this was my journey of traveling